Welcome back to City Insider. This is a YouTube channel for news, stories, and analysis surrounding Manchester City Football Club. I will update new video every day. Like, subscribe and turn on notifications to support me. Kovacic should have been sent off vs Arsenal. Referees chief Howard Webb has admitted that Michael Oliver was wrong not to send off Manchester City midfielder Mateo Kovacic at Arsenal on Sunday. Webb said Oliver should have shown Kovacic a second yellow for scything down Declan Rice, and also said he was extremely fortunate not to be given a red card for an earlier foul on Martin Odegaard. Speaking on last night's episode of Match Officials MI Up, Webb said, "This is clearly a poor tackle and I'm pretty confident if a red card had been given, it would have been a very straightforward check complete by VAR. When Oliver reflects on it, he'll realize that the second one should have been a yellow card as well, which would have seen Kovacic sent off for 2 yellow cards." Arsenal boss Mikel Arteta said of the incident, "When I saw the action live, it looked like a big challenge, but I haven't seen the replay. I just want to enjoy the win. We will talk about it and understand we have to do something about it, but thankfully we managed to win the game." Webb offered no apology for the Liverpool offside blunder at Tottenham last month, but he said the officials involved were right not to stop the match. They recognized the laws, as set by FIFA and the International FA Board, IFAB, don't allow that, he said. Guardiola is playing mind games with £300,000 a week player. Roy Keane has now claimed that Pep Guardiola is playing mind games with Jack Grealish at Manchester City. The 52-year-old made the comment when speaking on the overlap. So, what did Roy Keane say about Pep Guardiola and Jack Grealish at Manchester City? Let's take a look. Well, the England international found himself at the centre of the conversation between Keane, Gary Neville, Jill Scott, Jamie Carragher, and Ian Wright after failing to come off the bench in Sunday's 1-0 defeat to Arsenal. Grealish started regularly under Guardiola as Manchester City closed in on the treble last season, so it was certainly strange to see the £300,000 a week man left out as the citizens chased a goal against Arsenal. Speaking about the situation, Neville asked, "What's happened there? Does he not fancy him at the moment?" Keane replied, "Pep plays games. He does this once a year with certain players he leaves out and we're all questioning why. I think he left De Bruyne out last year against Spurs, and he's done it with Kyle Walker, with Stones, Mahrez. I think he plays these games." Whether Guardiola has noticed a drop-off in training from Grealish, or something else, it certainly feels as if the 28-year-old needs to step up and remind people what he can do this season. You cannot rest on your laurels at Manchester City or any top club, regardless of how well the season beforehand has gone. Of course, Grealish performed well as Manchester City won a historic treble, but that is all in the past now. It has to be forgotten about. The £100 million man must now show a reaction to being left on the bench, amid fierce competition for a place in the starting 11. This City's player is more important than Rodri. Tony Cascarino believes that Kevin De Bruyne is still Manchester City's most important player. City crashed to a second straight defeat in the Premier League last weekend. City turned in a poor display against Arsenal at the Emirates Stadium. Gabriel Martinelli's deflected strike was the difference on the day. It was yet another occasion when City have struggled without Rodri, who was serving the final game of his suspension. For many, these past few results have indicated just how crucial Rodri is to City, with many claiming he is the most important player. City's defeat to Arsenal was discussed on the Game podcast. There was a lot of talk about the impact of Rodri being unavailable, but Cascarino believes City missed De Bruyne's creativity and his ability to do things that other players simply cannot. He said, "Players like Declan Rice and Rodri and players of that ilk are very good at stopping their team conceding goals. They defend brilliantly. The one thing that was sorely missing was a player to make a pass to open even a really difficult defense and midfield. De Bruyne has done that all his career. The perfect ball was what was missing from Man City. De Bruyne has always delivered that. At least once or twice in a game at times. Players like De Bruyne, James Maddison, Lucas Paqueta, Martin Odegaard, they can unlock the key to that block. Because it was quite clear it was very difficult to break each other down. That was evident in the first 10 minutes. Gary Neville also said after Sunday's game that City really missed De Bruyne. Both Rodri and De Bruyne are world-class players. It is very easy to say that Rodri is City's most important player considering the last 3 results and everything that he brings, but £55 million star De Bruyne is an out-of-this-world talent and one of the best midfielders the game has actually ever seen. City have managed fairly well without him this season, but at the weekend the magnificent star was badly missed, and Haaland actually almost looked a little lost without him. City player leaves national team with Dr. Manchester City star Ederson had something close to an injury scare at Brazil's training session today. As reported by TNT Sports, the goalkeeper left the field along with the national team doctor, with it seeming like he'd been injured during practice. Ederson, however, was just being taken to a dentist. What happened to the Manchester City player is that a tooth cap fell off, and he had to fix that. That means the goalkeeper is still expected to face Venezuela with a shiny smile on his face, with Liverpool's Alisson questioned for his performances in the 2018 and 2022 World Cups. Ederson is expected to be Brazil's number one from now on. Since new manager Fernando Diniz took charge, the Manchester City goalkeeper started in all games, and is expected to hold a spot in the upcoming fixtures of the World Cup qualifiers. In a press conference held by Ederson this week, we explained that the new coach's style suits him well. Brazil are playing Venezuela on Thursday and then take a trip south to face Uruguay on Tuesday. And that's the end of this video. Don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications to support me.